So let's talk about a fun topic. Let's talk about threesomes, getting two women in bed. Okay, so obviously, it's a little bit more advanced. You need to have approaching and going on dates and same night sex and that stuff mastered before you really delve into this stuff. But first of all, the basics, you have to understand that it's not that hard. Same thing with stripper game. For some reason, stripper game and threesomes people think are like the hardest thing ever. It's like the alpha omega of game. It's like, almost unrealistic. It's not. I mean, we know,
Yeah.
we did stripper game and
It's easier than gaming outside.
yeah, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
Okay. But same thing with threesomes. Now, a lot of it's out of your control. If two girls aren't into girls at all and you're trying to bring them together, it could happen, but it's part of it's about screening for the right candidate. But you have to understand it's not a hard thing. Anytime you think something's really hard, it's going to be hard. If you can really think, wow, okay, this is easier than you think, then it becomes easier than you think. And how do you develop that mindset? Don't just take my word for it. Go ask women if they would ever do that or if they ever have done it, and you'll be surprised how many women would do it. And then you'll realize, okay, it is easier than you think because a lot of women want to have fun, especially younger women. But I've had some with older women too. I don't even know how old they were, but probably like 40s. So women fantasize about threesomes. Even straight women fantasize about threesomes. Okay, and again, ask them. You want to get them to admit that they've thought about a threesome, or that they're bisexual, or that they have bisexual tendencies. Okay, we're going to talk about how to do that, how to get them to admit that. Talk about celebrity crushes that they might have, things like that. Show you you got to be okay with it. If they think you're going to judge them, forget it. It's just like regular sex. If they think you might judge them, they're not going to go for it. So you have to maybe talk about, if you've ever had one before, you can talk about that. That'll get them thinking about it, right? Anytime you bring something up, they start thinking about it. Okay, so if you've ever done it, or you can even talk about your friends that have done it, or whatever. Talk about, porn even. I like to talk about how women enjoy lesbian porn, even straight women enjoy lesbian porn more than straight porn, and that is true. So, and again, ask women if you don't believe it. Ask women. Don't take my word for it. Have alcohol. If you're completely sober, it's pretty tough. Women need something to loosen them up. Again, don't get them drunk. Just some wine, something like that. Gets them loosened up. They can write it off. Oh, I was drunk, even though they had one sip of wine. They still can say they're drunk. So they can write it off. It just loosens things up. And use a different condom for each girl. Okay, you don't want to screw it up in the middle of it, and that can. So use a different one.
You just gotta keep ripping them off.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna keep going back and forth, or you're having a big orgy with 10 women, then yeah, make sure you have a lot of condoms. Keep a lot of condoms in your room. I always keep 2 on me. I have one in my wallet and then one in my pants pocket when I go out. Because I can't fit like 2 or 3 in my wallet. I can only fit 1. I always have that one in there, and then I put the other one in. And that just, I don't know, it's something psychological. I know I can feel like the condom right there, and it's like makes me, I don't know, maybe it makes me more sexual, or makes me like want to use it, but it just makes it happen more often when I have that condom there. Not necessarily threesomes, but just sex. So maybe if I put 2 condoms in, or like, I don't know, maybe I get 2 girls. Okay. Get them to admit that they're bi. How can you do this? Fuck, marry, kill is a great one to find out within minutes. So you play, hey, let's play a game. We're gonna play fuck, marry, kill. What's that? Well, you gotta pick, I'm gonna pick 3 people for you. One of them you're gonna fuck, one of them you're gonna marry, one of them you're gonna kill. So you pick a girl as one of them, 2 guys and a girl. If she says she wants to fuck the girl, interesting. So you're into blondes. She might say, huh?
What I do is I'll say the one over there, and there'll be a blonde, right? And then like she'll give me her answer. I'll be like, oh no, not the blonde, the brunette. And then like if she says she'll fuck them both. It was just like a long pause with this girl, and she's like, oh, I'm bi. She just explained it.
Yeah.
She just explained it to me right then and there. She's like, always with the guy. But the thing is, it's like, just the fact that I used 2 different girls on there, because she may say no. You don't know. Maybe she don't like brunette.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, you could pick 2. You could pick 2 girls.
Always pick 2 girls.
You could pick 2 girls. Yeah.
Even though she points out.
You could pick 2 girls and a guy. That could work too. Or like you said, you pick the girl and then she's like, well, I'd fuck the girl. And you're like, oh, no, I meant the other girl. But make sure they're hot girls too. Or the only reason she didn't want to fuck them was because she wasn't attracted to him. So yeah, I like that too. And then ask her about it. Say, oh, how, so you're into blondes? And she says, yeah. Or no, I'm usually into brunettes. Or say, ask more questions. So when was the last relationship you had with a woman? Just assume. I always assume that every girl's bisexual. Okay? So I always ask them, what kind of women are you into? She's like, if she's not bisexual, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, you're not bi? Oh, weird. Okay. I don't know if I could talk to you anymore. I only date bi girls. But I'll make an exception for you, I guess. Celebrity fantasies, you talk about what celebrity crush do you have on. A lot of them say Angelina Jolie. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. She's hot as hell. But I don't know why they pick her more than all these other hot celebrities. But hey, doesn't matter to me. But I ask, why haven't you explored that? Or, what other fantasies have you had? Have you ever, just get into it. Ask questions about it. Here, talk about lesbian porn, talk about how women prefer lesbian porn, or talk about how when women watch straight porn, they look at the woman more. And just talk about how, it's not that these women are bisexual, that's why they like lesbian porn, but, it's more fluid than that. It's not just about being straight or bi. There's something in between, that women just appreciate each other's beauty and their sensuality, and women are just, their essence is attracted to other women, and that it's okay for women to be like that, right? You're talking about how it's okay for women to be like that. And that it's, it's a normal thing. The question game, have you ever dated a woman? Have you ever fantasized about women? Have you ever, had sex with another woman? Have you ever had a threesome? Once you get deeper into the question game, you can ask these kind of questions, and it's no big deal.
What's the question game?
Question game, to review, is basically in the date. I usually do it pretty early on. I say, let's play a game. We're going to play the question game. It's really easy. It's kind of like Truth or Dare, or you could even play Truth or Dare. That would be good too. But I say it's like Truth or Dare without the dare. So she says, okay. And I say, basically there's 3 rules. Number 1, the questions have to be good. No, like, what's your sign or your favorite ice cream? They got to be good questions. Number 2, you can't ask the same question that's already been asked to you. And number 3, you go first. So I tell the girl she has to go first. Sometimes girls right away go sexual. First question is something sexual. But a lot of times on a date it won't be. I'd say, yeah, majority of the time it won't be. So then you keep it non-sexual for a little while, asking questions like, where would you travel if you could go anywhere in the world? Or what do you want to be when you grow up? Just questions like that where you're actually genuinely getting to know each other. And then I go more into relationship type questions. What's the longest relationship you've ever had? What's the craziest date you've ever had? Stuff like that, because that leads into kissing. I say, are you a good kisser? She says, yeah. Okay, come here, let's find out. Or would you like to kiss me? Just frame the kiss into a question. And then after that, after you've kissed her, then you go more sexual questions. Questions like this. And you can play it throughout the entire date. Now you don't want to just play the question game the whole date, but a question turns into a topic, turns into something else, and you're talking for a while. Then all of a sudden you can't think of anything to say. The topic dies and all the multi-threads have gone away. Then you go back to the question game. You say, it could be an hour later, and you're like, oh, okay, let's go back to the game. It was your turn, right? So it's like you never run out of things to say. You never run out of things to talk about on the date. Okay, show that you're okay with. This is just an example. It's fascinating how people have all these hang-ups about sex. It's not like all women are bi. It's a lot more ambiguous than that. It's about how in touch a woman is with her inner femininity and how she explores it. That sounds like it's really normal and natural, and obviously you're okay with it. Whoops. Okay, so obviously there's different types. Here's meeting 2 women at the same time, 2 friends. They don't have to be bisexual. Obviously it's a lot better if they are and a lot easier, but they don't have to. First one I ever had, they weren't bisexual. Tried to get them to do stuff, they were not into it. But usually they got to be good friends. Not always. Sometimes they could just have met each other. Your partner brings a girl to you. That's an easy one. You really don't have to do anything. You and your partner look for a girl together. You bring 2 of your partners together that don't know each other, 2 different people you're dating, or 2 men and a girl. I'm not really going to talk about that one. If you're into that, that's okay though. I won't judge. Would you say you?
I'm like, no,
Actually, we're just going to focus on that.
I
We're going to talk about MMMF. Gangbang. Actually, we should talk about reverse gangbangs.
I know a nurse who used to teach her husband says, yeah, I want a threesome. And then the husband would be like, yeah. She's like, yeah, bring over your friend Bob. And they'd be like, no. No, like it.
All right, so meeting two women at the same time. I said they don't have to be bisexual. You got to escalate on them equally. This, in my opinion, is actually the easiest one because you just act like it's one girl. If you can escalate on one girl, you can escalate on two girls. Okay, just give them equal attention, touch both of them, do a three-way kiss. Instead of kissing, you could kiss one and then kiss the other, that works too. Always sit in the middle. Screen for bisexuality. Again, asking those questions. If they seem, even if they're not bi, say, ask questions like, have you guys ever shared a guy together? Guess what? They're looking at you. If it's anything like, no, but I'd be down to, or something like that, it's probably going to happen that night. That's it. Now, of course, you have to have the right candidates. If there are two girls that are just totally not that close and would never do something like that, you could have the best game in the world. Probably not going to get it. Okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, how wild would you say you are? That's a great screening question. Women want to be wild. They want to have fun. They want to be crazy, especially when they're young. Okay, so this is a really cool one. You two seem like you get in a lot of trouble. What's the craziest thing you've done together? So they're thinking about doing crazy things together. And you do a little self-point when you do that. Another one, this is more like NLP. When you see something you both want, do you both go for it and share it? Or do you decide who gets this? Point at yourself. Okay, so you can be talking about shoes that they both want at a store. When you guys see something that you guys both want, do you guys share it? Are you guys like, take turns? Or do you decide who gets it? And you could be, if you're like, what are you talking about? Like shoes, you see some shoes in the window? But it subtly creates that frame. Any questions about the first type? You just gotta lead. It's basically you do the exact same thing you do on one girl, but you do it on two. It's pretty simple.
Each other? You're talking about two friends?
Yeah, two friends. You've met them the same night. You're by yourself. You don't have a wingman. You meet two girls. Try it. You're not gonna lose any points for trying. Worst comes to worst. You get both their phone numbers or something like that. I've had that happen too, where it didn't happen, but I got both their phone numbers and I gave them both my phone numbers. Then I'm like, shit, which one do I call? And you just wait it out. Usually one of them will text you or call you first, because they'll talk about it afterwards. They'll be like, well, we can't both hook up with them, so you take them this time because I'm dating, that one guy. Okay, so your partner which one's this? Your partner finds a girl. So actually, this is you and your partner find a girl. Okay, the other way is, she brings a girl to you. Again, there's not much to that. Obviously, if she brings a girl to you, she's obviously bi. Okay, and you've already explored that fantasy. You've talked about it, but it's never about you. It's never about your fantasy. This is her fantasy. You're fulfilling her fantasy. This is the key thing as far as threesomes. It's all about her. It's all about finding about her fantasy and fulfilling her fantasy. Even though it is your fantasy, you never talk about it being your fantasy. It's all about her. So if she brings another girl, you want to focus on her more usually. It depends on your dynamic. She's just a booty call. It's not that big of a deal, but if she's more of an exclusive or non-exclusive relationship, you want to focus more attention on her. You don't want her to start getting jealous and start regretting it. But usually you just let the women start doing the work. Okay? But when the women are doing the work, it's still the guy's job to lead. They could be having a conversation, and it's your job to say, come on, let's go in the bedroom. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about you and your partner find a girl together. You can go to regular bars, but it's just tougher. I've tried this, and it's never seemed to work. You go to a lesbian bar, that's easy. They're all lesbians. They're all bisexual. They're all into girls. Okay? So you can say things like, you two look sexy. Like, just let them talk. You can open the girls. You have your opening skills already down, so we don't need to talk about that. You can open a girl, introduce your friend, but a lot of times the girls will open each other. You don't even need to worry about opening. And then just make a couple comments like, wow, you two look sexy. You guys look really sexy together. Or if they start kissing, say, wow, you two look really sexy when you're kissing. Again, it's about them gaming each other. You really don't have to do too much in this kind of situation. Give your partner most of the attention. If it's that kind of situation where you guys have a more intimate relationship. If not, then you can kind of escalate equally on them. Let your partner escalate on her first. Let her suggest to leave. Now you can lead. Sometimes, man, girls suck at leading. So you could tell your partner, the one who's picking up the girl, say, hey, let's get out of here. Tell her. Because if you tell them, it could make the other girl, whatever reason, hesitate. Okay? But if it's the girl's idea, your partner's idea, the other girl will usually go for it. And this is not just for lesbians. This is for if you have a wing girl and you're gaming a group of girls or something like that, your wing girl suggests it, the girls usually come on board. Because they're not going to be as cautious when it comes to another woman, because they're women. But they're going to be more cautious if a guy is like, hey, let's go back to my place. Okay? Three-way kiss, that's the easiest way. Get them to start kissing and then go in for a three-way kiss. It's the easiest way to start. And everybody's kind of on board at that point. Dual induction massage. Anybody know what that is? Anybody remember that from the game? Neil's little technique for it?
It's the girl to start. He starts rubbing on her, and then he gets one of the other girls to help.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways to do it. It's basically everybody just massages each other. So you can just talk about, hey, there's this really cool thing I've heard about, dual induction massage, or call it four hands massage, the same thing. And it's just like, it's like the ultimate pleasure. So now you're talking about pleasure. So we gotta try it. So you get them two to massage you, just on the back, take your shirt off. Then you get the other, or, I mean, it doesn't have to go in this exact order. You can have one of the girls do it first. Actually, this is the best order. If you have one of the girls do it first, that way it doesn't seem like you're just trying to get pleasure out of them. Have your girl go first, the girl that you know, right? Because, she's just gonna be more comfortable with it. It's gonna be easier for her to do anything that you say, more than the other girl who doesn't know you. So you have her go first, so you and the new girl massage her with maybe her shirt off, but her bra still on. Massage her, then they both do you, then you do the last girl, and you escalate on her while you're massaging her. You take the bra off, go do the legs more, get really intimate, and then start kissing, have her roll over, massage. Remember I told you earlier, the legs and the butt are the most erogenous when it comes to massage. Non-sexual massage. Okay? So that works really well. Bringing two partners together. This is a tough one. This is a little bit tricky, but it's definitely possible. So obviously you got to screen both women. You're dating one woman, she happens to be bi. You're dating this other woman, she's bi. Why not bring them together? So obviously you have to be in a non-exclusive type of relationship, whether it's booty call or whatever, and talk about it, screen for bisexuality. And even if she says, yeah, I've always thought about it, it's still a good candidate. Say, you know what, tonight we're going to make your fantasy a reality. Okay, and you got to set it up. Okay, first show pictures of each other so that they're attracted to each other. I used to not do that, and they come and they're not into each other, and then it's just kind of, okay, what do? You have these two girls, and it's just a little bit more awkward, and they're not into each other. Or one's into the other one, the other one's not. She pulls you aside, and she's not my type. So show pictures. Show sexy pictures of each other. Get pictures of them naked, too. Then they see each other naked. Okay? Make it all about them, right? It's all about their fantasy. Tonight, we're going to make your fantasy a reality. Tonight, we're going to make your dreams come true. Okay? It's all about them. It's not about you. Let them talk to each other, build comfort. They're going to pretty much do all the work. It's just your job to lead and say, come on, let's go to my bedroom. Come on, let's do the dual induction massage. Okay? That's it. And if you get one of them, start hooking up and having sex with one of the girls before the other one comes, then that works really good, because now one of them's already really turned on. She's already hooked up with you. She's already had sex with you. Here comes the other girl. And don't finish the girl. Kind of just do it for a little while, and then ding dong, the other girl shows up. Now, one girl's just had sex with you. Just makes it easier. At least you got one girl pretty much hot and ready to go. That's pretty much it. Is there any questions? You guys are all experts on threesomes now.
So we.
Trying to think if I left anything out. That's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, I know it sounds easy, but it really is. It doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be that hard. Like I said, this is a little bit harder just because the two girls, you don't know if they like each other yet. Whereas you go to a bar, she can find a girl she likes. She brings another girl that she's already bi and she's already hooked up with. That's the easiest. That's why I don't really explain that one. You just have to not be a dumbass, basically. And then two girls that you just meet.
You know a good lesbian bar?
Around here, no. I've been to a couple in Orange County.
That's a good idea. Right?
And you can meet, I mean, I've gone to lesbian bars with girls and we didn't end up hooking up with anybody, but it's actually a place you can actually pick up girls there, like on your own. Because most gay guys can tell if you're gay or not. I don't know how, but I like to think I dress kind of stylish. I was kind of insulted that I wasn't hit on more when I went. But the girls are really aggressive a lot of times. Because maybe they don't know that you're gay, so they're like, oh, we can grab his cock and he's not going to even like it. And they do.
If you're already dating some women or talking to some women, I want you to screen for bisexuality. I want you to talk about the things that we talked about during this lesson. Okay? You can do it through fuck, marry, kill, or some of the other tactics, qualification, and such that I talked about. If you're not dating anyone, and even if you are, I still want you to do this regardless. I want you to go out at night, and I want you to approach at least 3 two-sets. Two-set is a group of women where there's only 2 of them. There's only 2 of them, and I want you to treat it like it's one girl. I want you to approach, it can be direct or indirect, that's up to you at this point, but if you go direct, you just say, hey, you guys are really cute. You say both of them are really cute, and you touch both of them. You escalate physically, verbally, and logistically on both of them at the same time. Just treat it like one girl. Okay, I want you to do 3 approaches like that, and I want you to do a total, since you're out and about anyway, at least 5 other approaches. Even if they're just openers and just warm-ups, at least 5 other approaches, and then at least 2 daytime approaches. So it's a total of 10 approaches again, 3 of which have to be 2 sets. Okay, that you just escalate. Even if you just open them and the conversation dies, that still counts. Okay, but just open 2 sets and treat them like one person. Don't focus on one girl. Focus on both of them. Okay, and do a couple more approaches that night. Do at least what did we say? 5 other approaches, warm-ups. Just openers. Hey, how's your night going? Cheers. At least 5 of those. That's easy. Okay. And some of those will turn into probably longer approaches as well. And then at least 2 during the day. Okay, because I want you to keep working on daytime. I want you to mix up daytime and nighttime. And I want you to do those 3 two-sets so you can try to go for a threesome this week. Okay, that's it. Focus on that. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.